Hello one and all, Martin's Shave Tests. It's Wednesday the 3rd of July. Look what I just got through the post. Now, the very kind vendor, who I'll only mention his first name, Ian, had a lot of trouble sending this Puma to me for the simple reason that the post office in Britain has decided that these are offensive weapons and shouldn't be sent in the post. Luckily it came via the eBay method, which is far safer, so don't try and post these. Anyway, let me just recap and say what we're going to do. This is a beautiful Puma. This is the Puma, if I remember correctly, the 90, and it's the one with the very, very fine etching on the blade. This is the HighClass, which is a really beautiful, beautiful object. However, they're quite scarce. They're very, very thin hollow ground blades, and this one had a little bit of corrosion on it, so I'll put that down. What I've done is I've been working in the workshop. I've taken most of the corrosion out. I've done a light regrind using Swiss carborundum, very fine Swiss carborundum powder, and then polished it. So a couple of little things. There was a nick very near the toe, so I've actually had to use a diamond plate, 1000 grit diamond plate, to actually remove the little nick out of the toe. Otherwise I'd have been working with the stones all day and that would bore you to tears. So first things first, I'm going to mark up the edge. I'm pretty certain it's all fine anyway, but let's mark it up with a felt tip, which is the traditional method for checking the geometry and to make sure when you put it on the stones that everything is touching where it should be. I've got some pretty fierce scratches up near the toe, which I expected. I mean, I was using 1000 grit diamond plate. So next thing is, that's got the felt tip. Let's make sure that my stone is correct. I'm going to use only my Naniwa 3K Professional for the simple reason I didn't fancy using anything else because I don't want to wear away this beautiful precious little blade. So that's the that's all the lines gone and a nice slurry raised. I do believe the slurry does help you to cut a little bit quicker. So that's a 3K slurry. Wash the slurry off, because next we'll be going on to quickly onto a 5K. But what I did promise a certain person, one of our favourite YouTubers, that I would actually put a Jnat edge on my next razor hone. So first of all, let's get the edge absolutely straight and geometrically correct, and then slowly we'll go on to a Jnat. But first things first, I'm not going to tape this because it has had a little bit of not hone wear, but a little bit of a rough edge, and I don't really care too much about the rest of it. There's a little bit, don't know if you can see it, there was traces of corrosion, mostly gone. Anyway, I'll shut up and get on. Let's get first of all a check to make sure the geometry is correct, which on a Puma of course it would be. Yeah, absolutely perfect. Yeah, Puma Solingen number 90. The 90s are extremely fine ground blades and they're quite rare. Make sure that that's correct, and then we'll go quickly in a progression and end up, with any luck, the really nice razor that's ready to shave with. This doesn't take long. Pressure, yeah, a lot of our very dear friends have been mentioning about pressure. On the early stages of honing, personally I like to muller them. I like to put some fairly heavy pressure on. I say fairly heavy, I mean we're talking about 3 pounds of pressure, probably no more than that. On a nice stone like this you don't really worry about any more. Anyway, I would say that should have removed, yeah it has, Yeah, that's removed all traces of the 1000 grit diamond plate. Only on the nose. I'm never afraid to do that. If you've got a particular area on the heel, for argument's sake, or on the toe, and it's got a particularly heavy graunch, it doesn't do any harm. Really doesn't do any harm to go in there with a diamond plate. It's only the very final tip of this blade that had a quite severe nick or chip out of it. Right, that's got rid of 99% of the felt marker. That's a nice clean edge now. Okay, I'm going to check it just to make sure my little handheld microscope, because I don't entirely trust loops. Yep, it's still quite rough, so we're going to go a little bit harder. Yeah, there's chips on the edge. We can't have that. No, 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 no. I'm hoping that this fine Kaneyama, what am I talking about? And that'll come later. I'm hoping that this fine stone, this 1K Naniwa, will do the job. Excuse me while I mumble to myself. I'm actually trying to concentrate on doing these little rotary movements. They tend to take off a lot more steel. And at the moment, I just want to get the remaining nicks and little tiny bits of corrosion from this very, very nice old blade. And the best way to do that is to really go in hard. The Naniwa Professional is a lovely stone. It's my go-to stone for most things. There we go. Let's have a look at that. Then we can progress onwards. Just dry it off. And we'll have a quick look. Oh yes, that's done it. That's lovely jubbly. Yep. Do the nail test to see if we've set the bevel. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. In fact, to prove the point, I use one of these horrible little things. This, of course, is the S-shaped packing peanut. Oh my goodness me. Oh yeah. Yeah, as you can see. That's marvellous. Good penetration. However, let's do the proper test, which is the baby tomato. Yeah. Yeah, that's there. Right, now we can go wash off this nice 3K Naniwa Professional. Doesn't take long, does it, chaps? Put that there to dry. Put on the 5K. This one I know is flat, so I'm not going to bother. But I will wash off, make sure all the slurry is washed off. Oh, what am I talking about? It won't take a sec to check it, will it? Let's not be too fussy about these things, but that's just going to give it a very quick check. And raise up a slurry. So this is a very nice 5K stone. That's dead flat. Wash it all off. Yeah, that's a 5K Shapton. It's the pink one, very nice. Okie dokie, here we go. I'm not going to kill the edge yet. That might come later. Just assume that the edge is killed. We'll do that in a minute. This is purely medium pressure now, just to get the worst of the 3K scratches removed. And I reckon that'll be almost there. Let's add some water. Yeah, it's flowing beautifully. That's one of the reasons so many people don't believe in taping a spine. You get more feel and feedback if you don't tape a spine. And this poor little blade has had a hard life. I don't mean hard in wear, far from it, which is why I'm so keen to get it to shave again. But it has had a little bit of corrosion, so it's never going to go out as a mint item. But it'll do just as good a job as a mint item when it comes to shaving. Let's wash off this slurry. In fact, as a little test, we will kill the edge. Just one stroke. Yeah, that's dead. Completely dead. And to prove it, yes, the tomato doesn't cut at all. So let's see if we can quickly bring the edge back on the 5K, then we'll drop down to 8K, then we'll go to the Japanese. The other reason I like to use two hands, you can regulate not just the direction of your stroke, you can regulate the power. Although this looks fairly brutal, it's not. Let's see if that's come back. Yep, that's back. And that's all it takes. Yep, that's it, edge is back. Right, that's me 5K done. I do like being a bit of a rapid chap here. Right, quick check on the 8K, which is again it's a Naniwa. It's a very fine 8K. I'm very fond of it actually. One of the reasons I'm fond of it is I don't believe in jumping too harsh a step, and I think it only takes a few minutes to actually go from one stone to another. So why not waste a few minutes and just get things as you like them. So this actually needs a little bit more effort than I thought. There we go. That's your 8K now. Dead flat. I'm using a 400 on this 8K as I did on the 3K and the 5K. On a very fine stone, I'd use the 1000 grit side of the plate. Right, let's go ahead and give it a nice 8K edge. You can see by the colour, at least I hope you can see by the colour, already we've got swarf. So this cuts very well. This is a fairly fast cutting stone. In which case, with slurry on it, certainly. So I reckon, judging by the amount of grey slurry metal deposited on this slurry, that we're already there. So let's wash it off and just purely use this nice 8K stone with water. And that should give already a very shaveable edge. You see the trace lines? Yeah, so already it's moving metal, but that'll very easily wash off with your fingers. Just like that. In fact, I'm going to allow a little tiny dribble of water just to see how sticky it is. Yep, that's fairly sticky. So I reckon that's an 8K edge. Then we'll go and put a nice Jnat edge on it. So let's wash that off. I'm certain a lot of more professional honers than me will be wringing their hands in horror at the speed that I work at. But I spent most of my working life restoring weaponry, and that includes edged weapons. And quite honestly, in the end you get a fairly good feel, and I don't pansy about. Anyway, that in theory, I shall check it, should be a nice 8K edge. Having a quick look. Yeah, no faults. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. In which case, no need, but we'll test it on this silly peanut thing. I mean, surprisingly enough, it's not a bad test. I mean, it's not my favourite test, but dear Bill M, he pretty much invented this test. Actually, surprising, this isn't. Oh no, it is good. I just prefer sacrificing tomatoes. Yeah. Do you know what? I prefer the tomato test. I think it needed a little bit more on the heel. So I'm going to go back and do a few more strokes just to make sure. To make sure that we are absolutely okay at the heel before we refine the edge any further. As you can see, I'm kicking up a fair bit of coloured slurry, swarf in engineering terms, because that is the metal particles. The slurry is obviously the stone and the particles mixed, as swarf properly is just the steel. Anyway, let's see if that now works a bit better. Well, well, well. Still resistance on the heel. Let me try the packing peanut. This is why I prefer the tomato. The packing peanut says it's perfect, but each to their own. And just a couple more strokes, and then we're going to go straight onto a Jnat. Running water. A few lighter strokes. Let's just try and see a fresh tomato. Oh, blimey. Oh, yeah, that's there. Very much there. So this is going in the gob. There's just one soon to follow it. Nice. Okay. Wash it off. And let's go Jnatting. And I'll explain what I've got. A very nice gentleman in Germany, Jose, 2 years ago, I got this from him. This is a very large base stone. It's one of the largest I think you can get. It's a Nakayama Asagi, supposedly. It's a bit of a brute. It's a bit of a house brick in size. I haven't used it for some time. I think about, I don't know, a couple of months. I'm not that much into the wonderful world of Jnats. I'll just give it a pencil test. Make sure it's nice and flat. I'm pretty certain it is. And this time I shall use the 1000, the worn 1000 grit side of the diamond plate. Oh yeah, that's pretty good actually. Yeah, that's quite a soft stone. What do I know? So it's not my subject. Right. Now that, I'm going to assume, is not only dead flat, but it's probably ready to take one of these little devils. This is the yellow, soft yellow Nagura. That supposedly is the first stone, followed then by a grey, hard Tomo Nagura. But really, it's not my field. As I say, I prefer European stones. But I'll wash this, we'll do it by the book. Now that's a nice clean base stone now. I shall now apply this yellow, soft yellow Nagura. I'm sure everybody's going to criticise what I've done here today, but that's all right, I don't mind. So, there we have it. One of the things I'll be very interested to see is the pattern of the scratching, to see if the edge of the blade actually has the telltale natural sandblasted look. Feels nice, very nice. You can see it's kicking up the water perfectly. If you wonder what that noise is, I've got a seagull perched on my windowsill crying for food. I'm on the coast and we're always beset by seagulls, little devils. Right, that I would imagine is now set. Do a nice Jnat edge. I'll have a quick look under the microscope. The reason I'm using the microscope and not a loupe is I just think you need a little bit more power. Oh, what a lovely haze. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Whoa! Hazy city. I've got a sandblasted edge. Whoa, that's a real sandblasted edge. Right, in which case, that's given me more faith. I shall go on to the other stone, the other little slurry stone, which is the grey, hard Tomo Nagura. This one. We'll see what this looks like. Making strange noises. Must be a fault in the stone. Make sure that it's absolutely pure surface. Yep. That's pure. Very grey, very light grey. I'm not going to put a very heavy slurry on because I'm very happy with what I've got. So that's the little slurry stone. Strange colours. Okay, here we go. I'm already very pleased that the edge all the way along has that lovely gentle sandblasted look to it. Clearly the mark of a natural edge. But I'm not going to go crazy and do loads and loads. I think this feels to me like it's done enough. Yeah, I'm sure that's done enough. So, very gently, you can see I can control the blade so much easier, for me anyway, using two hands. I'll do one hand, so what, you know. But I reckon it's a bit unnecessary. I'm going to call that a day. If the seagull here doesn't mind, I'm going to just try one more time to get a quick glance under my little cheap binocular microscope. Yep. no complaints there. Switch that off. So we're ready now to go to what I love best, which is stropping. So I'm going to go upstairs in a moment. I'm going to give this a good stropping, and I'm going to see if I can shave with it. The reason being, I've got some special soap, which I shall show you guys at another date. All the way from Louisiana, I've got some very, very custom soap. Beautiful stuff. And that's my next trick. Anyway, for now, chaps, I hope this is vaguely amusing. We've taken what was a completely wrecked but beautiful Puma 90. I've, as you can see, I'll wipe a tissue on it a second. I've restored it, I've honed it. The next stage is to strop it and to shave with it. Anyway, it's Martin's Test Shaves, and I'm a loony, so I hope you enjoyed a little bit of this. If so, do give me a like, and please subscribe, and thank you for viewing. Bye for now.